Independence is coming, and the SNP conference sets the scene for a society based on more progressive policies, such as a £100 million hardship fund for low-income families, a £100 payment for families on free school meals, a range of grants for employers taking on modern apprentices, and a thank you payment of £500 for full-time NHS and social care workers. Nicola Sturgeon expertly put the need for independence into perspective.
You know, one of the arguments often used against independence is that in tough times we need the broad shoulders of the UK. Well, right now we are living through the toughest of times. The Scottish Government has not got everything right, far from it. But I doubt there are many people in Scotland who would have wanted Westminster to be more in charge of our pandemic response. In the depth of crisis, we have looked to and trusted our own government and parliament to steer us through. We should do the same now as we look to rebuild. Our opponents will argue that independence is a distraction from that. They could not be more wrong. If we want to make sure that the country we rebuild is the one we want it to be, with kindness, compassion, fairness, equality and enterprise at its heart, and not one built in the image of Boris Johnson and his band of Brexiteers, we must work to the right plan with all the tools we need to do the job. Independence is not a distraction from the task of post-COVID reconstruction. It is essential to getting that right.
There were no parliamentary votes this week affecting Scotland. I spoke with government ministers regarding the issue of foster carers' lack of employment rights, and with sub-postmaster representatives about the implications of the spending review on the local network. We had further confirmation that the settled will sees Scotland's future as an independent country, with the 15th consecutive opinion poll giving a lead for yes. At PMQs, there was a further attempt to make the PM listen to reason over those excluded from support schemes.
So why can't the Prime Minister and the Chancellor change their minds on their support for these 3 million people? These are people working in construction, creative industries, events, education, hospitality, retail and healthcare. They haven't just been left behind. They've been ignored for 9 months.
During the health statement, I flagged up the importance of test and trace systems tackling COVID.
As we await the welcome rollout of a vaccine, test and trace remains vitally important. And in Scotland, over 90% of cases and contacts are being reached, whereas in England, with reliance on Serco, it has barely seen 60% of contacts reached, far lower than needed to meaningfully limit the spread of COVID.
Welcome for the imminent news of a COVID vaccine rollout is, we will be living with the virus for some time to come. Opinion poll evidence that the SNP and the Scottish Parliament are winning public confidence regarding trust is very encouraging for next year's Scottish Parliament elections. Locally, we have extremely able candidates, with MSP Fiona Hislop in Linlithgow and Michelle Thompson standing in Falkirk East. Links to their social media pages are in the description. Do like and follow them. As the week ends, we have further evidence of the insanity of allowing the UK Tories to make decisions for us, with the revelation that they will exempt high-value travellers from quarantine restrictions. Don't hesitate to get in touch with myself if you require my assistance. And I'm taking some time off on Saturday to help decorate for Christmas and start the Christmas shopping. Please do shop local, be that online or physically, whenever you can this year. Our local high streets need the support.